Welcome to Pig's Pod. I'm Oreo.
And I'm Q-Stick.
Well, we're in the last week of Halo 5 beta, and
Is
I've
it?
had a chance to play. Yeah, it's over this Sunday, so a couple days after this episode comes out. Q-Stick, we haven't received enough money in his fund. Actually, we've put no money in his fund to get him an Xbox One.
Yeah, it happens.
So he hasn't played it, but, we'll talk about it anyways. I've played it plenty.
Well, tax season is coming up here pretty soon, and depending on how things go with taxes, I might be able to have the financial capabilities to pick me up an Xbox One.
Yeah. It works out, though. You have a completely objective look at the game because you've never played it.
Right.
So you can listen to what I'm talking about and then give your opinion based on what it sounds like on paper, I guess.
Yeah, why not?
So first thing off, I'm disappointed in this. It's getting better as the beta is getting towards the end. That it's almost over. Matchmaking it's fucked up again. Q. It's broken. It's not as bad as Master Chief Collection was day one, but it is as bad as Master Chief Collection is right now. It takes forever to find a game. It's retarded.
Well, let me ask a question. Is it a matter of, bad connection or server fuck-ups or whatever you want to call it? Or is that a small amount of people that's actually playing it because everybody thinks they're having server issues?
It feels like a coding mess up, but it works, so it's not a coding mistake like they had in Master Chief Collection where it didn't work at all. So you can find a game, but the main problem in the whole matchmaking, I'm doing air quotes on the match part, is if you go into a game like by yourself, for some reason it seems like it finds you a game a lot faster. But if you go in with 4 people or 3 people, especially 3 or 2 people, is the worst. Because it has to find not only a whole nother team to play you, but it has to find 1 or 2 people to play with you. And it seems like it just can't do that for some reason. And I don't know why.
It just kind of has that impression that they're still working out, communication between servers.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Well, with it being a beta,
yeah, it is a beta. So
yeah, that's basically what you have to kind of say is it's a beta. So
yeah.
and
I have no way to know how many numbers they have of people that are on or how many servers they're running. So I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll give
until
them a pass.
Because they're going to do one more beta after this one, aren't they?
Well,
supposedly.
That's what I've said and a couple people have said. Nobody at 343 has announced that officially. There's just a few of us that have heard some things, that are thinking some things. But I'm pretty sure they are going to do another beta. It's going to be a different test. I don't think it'll be like this. And it might not even be an open beta like this. It might be a closed beta to test specific things. Like before, like the final release of the game. Like within the last couple months. Because they're printing millions of discs. They can't just do that in a week. They can, but... So.
Now, the game's set to release in November, right?
Yeah, November 12th, I want to say.
So,
they haven't announced that officially yet either, but
given the fact that, here we are roughly 10 months, out from release, and they have anything that they can put together to allow the public to be able to get any form of experience within the game, it's still pretty fucking impressive. That's been my whole thing with this all along is, we're almost a year out from, just a little under a year out from the show or from release, and they're able to, have working servers to where, you're going to wait for a little bit to get a game. You might have connection issues. You're like you said, you have the problems where, I'm going to take me and my 3 buddies and we're going to go in, and it's going to take forever for it to find us a 4-man game. The fact that you can even do any of that, this far out before release, that's still pretty damn good.
Well, it is and it isn't. The reason I say it isn't is because it's a Microsoft-owned game. They should have their servers and their shit together. If it was a independent developer or something or publisher, then I would say that. But when Microsoft is the one running it and putting the money behind it, there's no excuse.
That's true. Like, I completely see where you're coming from on that. But it's still, you're still looking at a new server, a new console. They're still getting all their shit worked out with the new console. So, I can see them having some hiccups trying to get their new games out and up and running, and then throw in the fact that this is just a beta where, we'll say, maybe 70-80% of the game really isn't even available yet.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like suck the dick of Microsoft when I say this, but the fact that you can even do anything on anything in the game this far out is still fucking impressive.
No.
Besides go to like look at the title screen and see how awesome the title screen is.
Yeah, and honestly, it's not that bad at all. It's actually pretty fast. It's this that I'm so used to in the day and age that we're in now, that you find a match really quickly on a lot of games, especially like huge AAA title games. It's like 10 seconds maybe.
Yeah, I can throw in like Halo 3 and still get into matches within, a minute or so.
Yeah.
So that's.
Yeah. But like I said, if you're by yourself or you're with a team of 4, you're going to be okay. And the same thing, they have a new system that's different. It's I don't know. It's not that much different from other Halos, but at the end of the match, it goes to what they call an intermission period, which I didn't put that here on my list of things that I don't like, but I don't like that intermission period. They give you a full minute of intermission, and it's counting down to where it's not doing anything. It's not searching, and people drop out, but it still leaves everyone in that party. Like, you remember back in Halo 3 days, you could have a rematch against the people you just played?
Right.
And they kind of got rid of that in Halo 4. You couldn't.
Wish they bring that back.
Yeah, so now you can if nobody leaves, but because they threw that intermission period in there of 60 seconds, which isn't that much, but it is in today's world.
It is in the gaming
60
world.
seconds, whoa. Like, if they lowered that down to like 30 seconds, I think, even though it's hardly anything at all in the span of a day, people will look at it differently, and they won't leave. And so but in that match or that intermission period, the same thing, if people leave, if they leave in a whole team of 4 or just one person leaves, it seems like you find that other person quickly and get back into another game quickly after that intermission period. But again, if it's 2 or 3 and it's an odd number kind of thing, again, it takes forever to find those last few people, and you'll be stuck there.
Now, this intermission period, is it strictly for, everybody to chill out for a minute while we prepare a rematch, or is there something else that goes on during this time frame? What happens with this intermission?
It's basically just like nothing. It just stays at the same screen to where you can like bring up your in the beta you can't bring up your prior stats. As soon as you close that stat screen, you can't look it up again, which sucks. But they've already said they're going to fix that. They've already said, yeah, we weren't thinking about that in the beta. We didn't program that in, but it's already fixed. But that's when you'll want to do that, during that intermission period.
Now, is that looking at post-game report?
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to Rabowski.
Yeah, shout out to Rabowski. I played with him the other day. He's all right. I think he's coming around. I think he's going to start playing Halo a little more. Maybe.
Well, I guess he got tired of playing with himself.
Yeah, we're talking Halo, not what
not
he does in his
touching
long
Rabowski's
time.
penis? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got sidetracked. We talked about his penis.
But another thing that's broken in the beta, they said they're going to fix on that same intermission period, is if you stayed through that intermission period, as soon as it's over, you can't back out. You're stuck. You can't go back to the menu. You're stuck in searching for players. And if you get unlucky and it goes into a searching cycle where it can't find anybody forever, you have to basically like dashboard and restart the game.
Oh, shit.
Or I figured out a little trick somebody told me. You open up your party app and you go into your party, and you go down to leave, like how you would leave party, but you don't push leave party, you push leave multiplayer, and that'll take the beta back to the main menu. It doesn't completely restart the game, or you don't have to go clear to the dashboard or anything. And that's the fastest way I've found to do that. If you get stuck in that searching loop where it just can't find any other players and you're stuck.
That's interesting.
But again, that's fixed in the beta. So I want to talk about stuff that I'm not sure if they're going to fix, that they haven't commented on.
All right.
So one thing that is super annoying to me, I was playing with Urbowski and Travis and our Canadian friend, Real Mystery. Shout out to him, especially, Real Mystery. We were playing Halo 5 last night and talking about it, and it's kind of like, when I was thinking about it, I think they kind of messed up on Halo 5. Now, here's why I say that. It's hard enough to get kills. Like, it's hard to get kills. It's hard to learn the control schemes, all the new abilities and everything. It's hard enough to learn that it's not fun for new players that haven't played Halo before, that don't know anything about the game, that don't even know those abilities are available. So they're just getting like ground pounded and thrusted into and Spartan charged. They're getting killed by stuff that they don't even know exists yet. So it's not fun for brand new players, but it's also not fun for pro players who are kind of like the big name, the kind of guys that are backing the name of Halo and trying to make it popular, get it on TV and on YouTube and on Twitch and all those stuff, bring up our numbers even more, so that we don't have bad matchmaking times, increase our community. It's not fun for the pro players either, because the opposite, it's so fast now. Like, all the movement and abilities and everything, and long-range weapons, which we'll talk about in a second. It seems like the game overall is faster. So it's hard to set up. It's hard for them to do anything. And also at the same time, some of the new stuff it does make it easier for players. It's hard to explain, because like, in one sense, it made everything that was hard easier, and it took everything that was easy and made it hard. So neither group of players really like it. But I think if you're like right in the middle, you're a Halo fan, you're a decent player, you understand that, you need to pay attention to your surroundings, you understand that you have these abilities and everything, I think those people will like it. I think they'll dig the shit out of it. And I've heard a lot of people that came into it just like me. They didn't like it. They didn't like the look of the beta. They didn't like any trailers or any news they saw on it, and hated it. And then they played it, and now they really like it, because I'm really digging the beta. I really like Halo 5. I think it's going to bring us back.
Well, that's when it comes to, the game design itself, you've got that fine, delicate balance, because you don't want to oversimplify the controls to where, even good players are great or bad players are good, but then you don't want to overcomplicate the controls to where, like you said, where new people can come in, that want to get into playing the Halo franchise, that's never played the Halo franchise, and they're like, you know what, I'm tired of the fucking 8-year-olds on Call of Duty. I want to try Halo, which, and here they come, and then they're like, this is fucking stupid. I'm going to go back and put up with the 8-year-olds. So I see I see that problem that you've got, and you have to ask yourself, what do you want? Do you want it to be more? Do you want it to be more for the type of people that are familiar with the game, or do you want it to be more easy to understand for the newer players? And personally, I would rather, if you have like a 10 is super just for Halo players, and a negative 10 is, any 7-year-old can do it. I would rather it be on the on the plus side of Halo, like maybe a 2 or a 3 or even a 4.
Yeah.
I would rather it be, if you're coming into this completely green, you're going to be at a disadvantage. But I kind of feel that way, coming into, looking at the games even for, Halo 4 or Reach, or, any of those, you still have that learning curve that you have to go through because it's a different game than what you've played before. So I would rather it be a little bit more difficult for new players to figure out the game than, really easy and, you're just breeding in the fucking 7-year-olds.
Yeah, I just thought of this right now while you were talking. I don't know, one way they could fix it, because it's a huge learning curve. And one way they could fix it is go the Titanfall route and have like a kind of introductory tutorial thing at the beginning to teach new players. But I don't know how they would put that in and it makes sense. Like, it would, especially Halo fans would be like, what the fuck? But like, if they added an option to maybe skip that, I don't know. Because then you could bring the new players in. Then you could be like, all right, look, when you're running full speed and you press the melee button, you do what's called a Spartan charge. And then when you're in the air and you press the aim button, you can float in the air. Or when you're in the air and you press the crouch button, you can do ground pound. Because like all these extra things that they've added now to where buttons do multiple things depending on if you're in the air or if you're sprinting or you're on the ground. Like, there's no like out in the open, like how to even do it. Like, even when you go into the control options, it just says this button does ground pound and crouch. It doesn't tell you how to do the ground pound. So like, I don't know. I just feel like it's pushing away new players, and that's what I want. I want new players coming in and starting to get it good at it and increase our community or population size. But I don't know. It's almost too hard to where I don't think they'll like it. Unless if they can make it work and do some kind of Titanfall-ish thing where they introduce it to you and explain it and go, here's how you do that, here's how you do that. There, now you know it exists and you know how to do it. You're still going to forget about it. You're still going to forget about it all the time. But that's, now just put it out there so they know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any reason why they couldn't do something like, maybe a really short, like, firefight mission before you go into matchmaking. Like you only do it once. You don't have to repeat it. You have an option to skip it. But, it's like your tutorial mission that, at the beginning of pretty much every Halo game, they have that, like, first little bit where, like, look up, look down,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. They could do something like that, or even Grand Theft Auto, for example, and they're like 7-hour long tutorial before you can go into fucking multiplayer. But something like that to give people a chance to get into it and understand things before you get going. I kind of like that idea, because I mean, if it does have that much stuff that's that big of a change from Halo 4 to Halo 5. Yeah, let's do something. Let's do something like a tutorial to fix that.
Yeah, just to teach the new people, or even people like you that don't have an Xbox One yet, haven't played the beta yet, don't even know that stuff exists. You're not even going to know anything about it. And if they don't introduce it, it's going to be like weeks and weeks and like hundreds of games until you figure that stuff out. Like, just throw it out there. Give everyone a chance. But I want to get into specifics about what's wrong with the beta. And again, a lot of these, I don't know if they're changing for sure or if they're even aware of. And most of these are kind of like my opinion, but I've heard it from a lot of other people, from playing with them or just reading it online. But, so I'll kind of read these at you, Q, since you haven't played it. And I'll tell you, and you tell me what you think looking on it from the outside,
Okay, go ahead.
There's no recoil on any weapons at all. And there's also no penalty for getting shot at other than you de-scope. So if you're scoped in and somebody shoots you, you de-scope. But there's no penalty. You remember, like other shooting games, other Halo games, you get shot and it kind of moves your reticle around a little bit? That doesn't happen.
Well, I was reading the little notes that you sent me, and when I saw no recoil, I kind of stopped and just sat there for a second, like I'm almost unsure how to feel about that, because I I just told you this before we started the show, that I was playing a little ODST. I haven't played ODST in years, and the recoil on the SMG is just like,
Oh.
holy mother of God! I forgot how stupid it was.
Yeah.
And then I read these show notes and it says, oh, no recoil, and I said, I was like, well, that's nice, but then I guess the only way I can kind of justify it is you are a Spartan. You are an
Yeah.
advanced superhuman with the best of the best technology on your body right now. You know, yeah, there really shouldn't be a lot of recoil with the weapon. Now,
Yeah.
I mean, if you hand one of these weapons to your average, Marine, yeah, they shouldn't. They should have recoil, but these guns are specially designed for a Spartan. That you really shouldn't have recoil. That's just my opinion. I mean, I kind of like the recoil because it does add a little bit of realism to the game.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, the assault rifle is designed for the Spartan. The SMG is designed for the Spartan. There really shouldn't be any recoil on this gun.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
As far as a Spartan, because if these guys can make you jump up in the air and boost and fly and do all this shit, they could at least add the type of servo harnesses or hydraulic compensation to keep, your standard weapon from not recoiling. So,
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna have to play it to kind of get my full opinion. But honestly, from a storyline perspective, yeah, there shouldn't be any recoil on these weapons.
Yeah, it makes sense. And I knew you were going to bring that up. I knew he's going to, because we've discussed it before the beta was even out. We're like, oh, yeah, makes sense of the story. You're a Spartan, you have armor. The armor, there, makes sense. There should be no recoil. Now, I will say this. There is, the one penalty you do have is if you're moving as you're shooting, it affects your accuracy. Which again makes sense.
Which makes sense because you are moving up and down and side to side. Your body is kind of bouncing as you're moving. It would make sense. But then again, you could once again justify it by saying the weapon is designed for the Spartan. The Spartan is designed to be a soldier in the battlefield, and most of the time they're not a stationary target. So you're going to have a Spartan charging forward and taking a position, so they should account for that type of movement within their weaponry, within their targeting systems in the armor itself. But as I don't really have a problem with run and gun and having some accuracy issues. It kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think I need to play it more and get used to it. I think the main reason that I have no recoil in my con list is because of these next two things I have in my list. The no recoil makes these two things super annoying. The first one being SMG is an almighty fucker, dude. It rips new anuses like no other. It is ridiculous up close. And since there's no recoil, you can come running around that corner and just fucking hold your trigger down all day. No problem, bro. Just hold it down.
Somebody.
Yeah. So it's super annoying. It's nothing at all like ODST that you've been playing where you hold it down for a second and you're shooting birds.
Now let me ask a question. In close quarters, SMG versus AR, which is more effective?
SMG beats everything up close. Within like 8 feet, I'll say.
That should be toned down simply based on the fact that the AR fires a 7.62 caliber, I believe.
Yeah.
And the SMG fires probably a 223 or maybe even as far down as a 9mm.
But the SMG shoots faster, so more bullets are actually hitting, doing damage. So
yeah, I mean
but it still needs to be turned down. The way it is right now in the beta, it's ridiculous how quickly you can kill somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see where the SMG is meant to be a close quarters weapon. That weapon is not designed to be, even a mid range weapon. It's just the mid range is kind of where the AR begins to lose effectiveness, and the SMG loses.
In this.
Oh, well, that's not good.
Yeah, that's the next thing on the list is the AR doesn't lose effectiveness at mid-range. You can... I know you haven't played the maps, but imagine... We'll say on like the Midship remake, Truth.
Okay.
You've played Midship before. Imagine being able to shoot from Carbine over to P3 and be hitting them, not 100% accuracy, but pretty accurately with the AR.
Well, I guess if you read the books, the AR was pretty effective at all ranges. From a balance standpoint, from multiplayer, that weapon is not meant to be a mid to long range weapon. That's where your BR comes into play. Is that mid long?
Yeah.
That needs to be turned down. Let me ask a question. Is if there's no recoil, I'm to assume there's little to no bloom.
Yeah, there's no... Well, there is and there isn't. Again, it's most... Movement affects it more than anything.
Right.
But after those first 3 or 4 shots, you're pretty much getting a steady... what would you call that? Grouping.
Regardless of...
The first 3 or 4 shots are probably more accurate than the ones after if you're just holding the trigger down. But it's still a pretty tight grouping unless you're moving. And your accuracy increases a tiny bit. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's a tiny bit when you're crouching, which again makes sense.
Which totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, is it in using the AR at that mid-long range, have you tried, the little short burst, like pop, 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 let off the trigger, pop, pop, pop? Is that...
I'm honestly, I don't use the AR at all. Like,
okay. Well, no, the reason why I'm asking is, traditionally with the AR, if you get that little pop, pop, pop burst that you can get out of it, you can keep your accuracy pretty tight.
Yeah.
And because usually your first round that you fire out of the AR, regardless of range, until you get into like long range shots, your first round is always going to hit if you're aimed at the, if you're aimed at a target, your first round will hit, and then everything after that goes to shit because of bloom. But if you do that short little burst shots with it, you can usually keep a fairly tight grouping. And the reason why I'm kind of going down this path is I'm curious as to, if you can say you crouch and go that short burst with the AR, does that become more effective than the BR at range? And if that's the case, the AR needs to be fixed.
I know people... I've only had it happen like once, maybe, in all the games I've played. But I know somebody that he played against somebody that they must have known how to do that. They must have been crouching. I wasn't there when he played it, but he told me after the game that, dude, I kept getting AR'd, and he was beating my BR, and we were like across midship map, and he was beating me with AR. And I'm wondering if that's what he was doing, maybe crouching and doing like burst shots while zoomed in. Because again, every single weapon you get your smart scope, you can zoom in a little bit with every single weapon, which increases accuracy even further. So,
well, that actually, some people were saying they didn't like that, but that actually makes sense simply because that's a piece of war gear that Master Chief had in the books. He was able, all of your targeting stuff. Your targeting wasn't done by looking down the iron sights or even looking down the scope for most weapons. The targeting information was put up on the inside of his visor.
Yeah, his HUD or whatever.
Yeah, his HUD. But so that would make sense that you would be able to shoot scoped in, zoomed in, or however you want to put it, with weapons that don't exactly have scopes, like the AR or even the BR for that matter. But yeah, if this individual is crouching and firing in bursts and is able to to tag a guy across midship, the gun will fire at a faster rate than the BR, and the BR and the AR, I believe they fire the same caliber round, and if that's the case, yeah, you're gonna beat the guy. And if that's what's really happening, that's a weapons tuning that they'll have to fix.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it needs to be turned down just a little bit. The same like the SMG. Turn the SMG power down just a little bit, and the AR range accuracy down just a little bit.
And I would say that'll be probably something that they fix, because weapon tuning, from in game is not an uncommon thing. It's not unheard of.
Yeah.
We went through the weapon tuning with Halo 5 or Halo 4, last year I think it was, and it totally changed the game for me. I stopped using weapons that I used to use because they weren't usable anymore in my opinion, and it was just
Yeah.
because I had gotten so used to the old way, and I stopped using the DMR, and I went from using the BR to the carbine because the carbine got better, and I'm like, all right, and I could out carbine a BR, so long as I got first shot.
Yeah.
And so weapon tuning is not uncommon or not unheard of. So I would definitely see them changing that from either beta to release or beta to second beta.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see about that second beta.
Yeah.
I'm still hoping they're doing it. I'm still pretty sure they're doing it, but we're the only ones saying that right now.
Well, it's exclusive here on Pigspod.
Yeah. Exclusive. We should exclusively force them into doing it.
Well, they listen to our show on a regular basis anyway, so I would totally say they're going to fix it.
Yeah, so all this stuff they're going to fix for sure.
They're going to fix it. I mean, especially an issue that is as severe as the AR being able to reach out and touch somebody across the map. That's a terrifying thought because I like the concept of it because I love the AR. I've always loved the AR all the way across all the different games.
Noob.
You call me what you want, but I still have to get in close enough to kill you.
Yeah.
And and that's fine. That was the part. I've always liked being the guy that's like, fuck it, I'm not sitting here. I will run around the corner and start shooting.
Yeah, you like being in close quarters.
Yeah, I've always liked that mid to long range action. I've never been a big fan, or mid to short range action. I've never liked the long range stuff. So
well, speaking of short range, I just remembered something I forgot to put on the list, and this is definitely going to affect you because that's how you play close range. There's no more lunge. When you beat down, you have to literally be touching the person. There's no more lunge towards them. You just swing your arm, and if they're there and you hit them, it'll kill them. If they were low enough shields, I mean. But there's no more lunge to it. Regular beatdown, you still lunge with the sword. But regular beatdown, there's absolutely no lunge at all. You have to actually move your body up to them and then hit them.
Well, that means that there's a little bit more skill involved, a little bit more getting in there and really getting in close to make that kill work. I'm not too upset about that.
I'm not too upset about it. I like it because there's a lot less beat down kills going on. But it's super annoying because I'm still not used to it. And like the game I just uploaded onto the Facebook page, pigspod.com or Facebook/pigspod. But the video I just uploaded, I missed like 3 beatdowns on this dude. I went like right by him and I just swung right by him and just swung. Like I'm still trying to get used to actually aiming where I'm going to beat down.
Now, when you go into assassination animations, is there lunge for that, or you still you got to be right up on their ass? Okay.
Yeah. So you don't have to literally like be touching them to where like you're pushing them, but
you've got to be in arm's reach.
You have to be within arm's reach, 1.5 feet away.
Well, that would be about 3.5 feet because of Master Chief's reach.
Well, whatever his reach is.
Yeah, but now that means that the lunge animation, my favorite animation for the assassinations was the one where you like lunge at him and tackle him to the ground.
Yeah, that one's gone. At least I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet. So
the first time, I'll be honest, the first time I saw that animation was done to me on opening night, and I was like, "Holy mother of God, that is so fucking cool!" It's like, I'm glad you killed me because I get to see this. But that just became right out of the gate my favorite animation. It saved maybe the air assassination.
Oh yeah, I love it when he takes me from behind.
Oh, I love getting taken from behind. So if that's gone, that kind of sucks. But who's not to say that they won't bring and expand the animations because that's something that they can do now.
Yeah, well, since they listen to the show, they'll be putting it back in. So
yes, put back in the lunging assassinations because they're sexy.
Speaking of putting things back in, they need to put back in the control schemes from older games. Like, because you have all this new stuff, you have let's see, I don't know what it's called when you're floating in the air. I don't know what it's called. You have that, you have the ground pound, you have the Spartan charge. Because you have all this extra stuff, they're trying to map the buttons differently, but like they don't work. They don't make sense. Like, nobody runs the default control scheme that they give you in Halo 5 beta, as far as I know. Because
is Recon still there?
Yeah, Recon is actually the best. None of them make sense anymore to what you're used to from Halo 4. I'm going to put a picture of all the control schemes up somewhere, either on Facebook or on the website. But like for bumper jumper, like the only thing that's similar from this bumper jumper to Halo 4 bumper jumper is that you use the bumper to jump. Other than that, like all the other buttons like moved. Like your zoom is different. I don't run default. Do you run default or recon in Halo 4?
I run recon for everything.
All right, so what do you use to zoom in? Do you press in on the thumbstick or?
Yes.
Okay, well, default now in Halo 5 is you press the left trigger to zoom in.
What?
Yes, exactly.
Well, then what do you throw grenades with?
Left bumper? Like, it's super messed up, dude. Like, they went all wonky and crazy. Like, just keep them, because all those things that you do, like, all have a button associated with them. You don't need to remap the entire controller. I don't know why they did that. Because, like, the ground pound, all you do is press crouch while you're in the air, and just press and hold crouch.
That makes sense.
So,
well, now, is crouch jumping no longer a thing?
No, because there's clamber.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
You can still crouch jump, but there's really no point now.
Yeah, if you can clamber, there's no sense in crouch jumping. So okay,
yeah,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and again, clamber's it's the same button as jump. So like again, I'm still confused why they like remapped and moved all the buttons around in every control scheme. Like me right now on Halo 5, I'm running fish stick. Because it's the closest thing to bumper jumper. Every button is the same exactly, except the actual jump button. You don't use the bumper to jump, you push A to jump. And you push the left bumper to use the thrust pack. But other than that, like zoom in and crouch and all those buttons are where they should be. Because the actual bumper jumper in Halo 5 is wrong. All the other buttons have been moved and it's retarded, Q. I don't know who came up with the new ones for Halo 5, but they ruined it. Like, it's messed up.
I would actually be really interested to either be a part of or like have transcripts or video or whatever where they actually where game designers sit down and say, okay, this is the controller we have to work with. Let's put buttons together. This button is going to do this. This button is going to do that. I would be really interested to sit and watch their line of thinking to come up with these ideas as to where they put buttons. Is this something that they do sitting in a conference room, or do they actually bring somebody in that actually fucking knows what they're doing and says, okay, these are all of your abilities. Where would you like to see them put?
I assume, like, I don't know, I'm just guessing, but like how I would do it is I would have like a blank controller, and I would obviously make the left or the right thumbstick like move, and I would try it for like a second. Like I would go from the ground up. Yeah. And I would have, because I think how they do it, they use developer kits, so they can literally map the buttons as they're going. So I'd like start from like movement, and then obviously right trigger is going to be shoot. I don't know if any of the control schemes don't have that, because that's obvious, right?
Right.
Right trigger shoot. So I'd start there, and then I'd be like, all right, what would I like to use for jump? And like have everyone do this in the office, and then you take kind of like a census kind of thing, like, all right, who's using A for jump? All right, all you guys. All right, that seems to be the most common, so we'll call that default, and then go from there, kind of go from the ground up. But like then when you add in all this new stuff from Halo 5, they're like, all right, I think what they did, why they remapped everything, is because instead of thinking of the old school stuff, everyone was focused on the new abilities. So they're like, all right, what would be the easiest way to ground pound? Oh, if you press this button. Oh, well, then that would move crouch over here. Yeah, but it works for ground pound. I think that's why they probably remapped it. If I were to guess, but I don't know. But yeah, that would be cool to have like video or like see how they did it, how they come up with these.
Yeah, because it seems like almost they overthought themselves.
Yeah.
It was just like they were almost overthinking it to the point of it not just. I don't know. It's almost hard to explain. It's just like I feel like they're just overthinking things when they could, things could be done so much. They could have done things so much more easier.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, I don't know why they don't let everyone map their own buttons.
What it wasn't that a function for Xbox One anyway?
Not that I know of.
No, I mean I could be speaking out of my ass, which is not that uncommon. But I thought that was one of the perks of the Xbox One is you could set up, controls for, first-person shooters controls for.
Oh no, that you could set default controls.
Right.
Which would, I think it's somewhere in the programming, like, it would just set like a preference, like I prefer this, and then the game would have like, here's what I have. And your Xbox would be like, oh, that's the closest one. He's gonna want that, and it would like automatically set it to that.
Okay.
But I don't think it literally remaps the buttons. It just picks whatever's closest.
But that would be a really nice, really nice, perk that the system itself allows, because there's really no reason why we can't do that now.
No, it's not. It's a simple. It's a one line of code to remap a button.
Yeah, I mean, given the fact that you're able to do so much with the system anyway, I don't see why you can't remap your controller. I mean, now granted, I'm sure you could go into and plug it into your computer and remap it and set it up that way, but it's not meant to do that.
Yeah, it'd just be nice to just have it, available to everyone, easy.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, well, let's keep moving on. Let's talk about, what do you want to talk about? Grenades?
Yes. What's this bullshit about being able to? Well, I got two. First off, we'll go down the line here. No grenade indicator. Are you saying that
there's no grenade indicator? You remember in Halo 4, there would be like a little flashing grenade. It would show you like it was over here to the left, to the right, or right in front of you. Mm-hmm. There's nothing. You have to be paying so close attention to hear like a grenade coming, or the new call out system where the Spartans themselves just call shit out all the time. They'll be like, "Oh, grenade!" You have to listen to them saying like "grenade incoming." There's no grenade indicator on your HUD anymore.
So your character, say that you and I are playing and we're behind a bunker, and a grenade comes in on your side, your character will actually call out grenade.
Yep.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm getting used to it. Again, it's another one of those new things that you kind of got to get used to, where it's like a very small change, but like it completely changes the grenade game in there, because it's not easy to avoid grenades now. I've been dying a lot from grenades I had no idea were there.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like that, because it kind of adds that extra uptick on this isn't for new players, this is for experienced Halo players.
Yeah.
I kind of like that concept, because you're right. I mean, that sounds terrifying. That you can't avoid that grenade coming in, because you're not getting that warning that so many of us rely on. Like, oh, it's on the left, I'm gonna shuffle to the right, or I mean, I use the jump pack. So I mean, I'll just kind of like boost over to the right to get away from it. Mm-hmm. That not being there, that sounds terrifying, but I kind of like it, because it does add a degree of difficulty, and save having each Spartan actually working with an AI, like like Cortana or whomever. that would kind of be a job that the AI would handle, would be watching for stuff like that. And since the Spartans aren't working with AI in multiplayer,
Yeah,
I
there's no way for your HUD to I don't know.
there's nothing that wouldn't be there anyway, because there's not really any sensor packages built into the armor. So I kind of like it.
Yeah.
It's terrifying, but I like
It's
I like that. I like being able to know that those assholes are around the corner and I can wall bounce a grenade and get them, and they'll never even see it coming.
Yeah, it's honestly not that bad. I mean, you still die about the same that you would in any other Halo, about the same from grenades. It's just more often that you did die from a grenade is from one you had no idea was there.
Huh. I like it.
But the other thing that I'm still on the edge about how I feel about grenades is it seems like they're super easy to shoot out of the air.
I don't like that.
Yeah, they should not be easy to shoot out of the air.
Right out of the gate, one of the most satisfying things that you can do, in my opinion, in Halo 4 or any of the other Halo games, is the ability to, get lucky and shoot one out of the air, because that's just so fucking satisfying.
Yeah.
And for that to be a common occurrence, I don't like that. I don't, you're talking, something that's the size of, I don't know, something the size of
biscuit?
Yeah, and pegging it out of the air, with something the size of your fingernail.
Yeah.
No, that's not cool. I don't like that at all. I want that satisfying grenade shot, that you get in Halo 4, where you just randomly get fucking lucky.
Yeah, because it's hard to do, not because it's easy.
Right, exactly.
I was playing a few games of the beta before we started this recording, and I was just messing around trying it, and I did it several times. I even got one with a light rifle, which on paper should be impossible for me to shoot a grenade out of the air with a laser.
That's pretty impressive.
And it was easy. I did it. I didn't even scope in. It was easy. I threw the grenade, shot towards it, boom, blew up.
Oh, you were throwing your own grenades and shooting them?
Yep.
No, that's too much. That needs to be taken out. Like, ban that shit right out of the gate.
Yeah, it should. You should be able to do it, but it shouldn't be as easy as it is. It happens so often on accident where I'll throw a grenade and somebody shot that they were shooting me, blew up my own grenade in my face.
Right.
Not all the time. I mean, out of all the games I've played, it's probably happened 5 or 6 times. But honestly, in a 3-week beta, and we're 2.5 weeks in, I shouldn't have died 5 or 6 times from a grenade blowing up in my face on accident. Somebody happened to shoot my grenade that I was throwing.
Yeah.
It's a little too easy. That's something else, again, that they need to turn down just a little bit, So if you're listening, 343, and I know you are, whatever you have to do to make that hitbox on the grenade a little smaller.
Yeah, that needs to be reduced. So, what's the story on the power weapons? You're saying here that everybody has there's some indicator that comes up to give everyone an aware of the power weapons.
Yeah,
okay.
There's 2 indicators, and this is another reason that again, one of those things that it used to be something that noobs knew nothing about and only pro players, and now 343's gone and swapped it, that pro players hate this now and noobs are loving it. But everyone knows when and where power weapons are because it's announced, not only by the announcer saying 30 seconds to power weapons, and he'll say 30 seconds to power weapons, and then depending on the power weapon that's coming up, again at like 10 seconds, he'll be like 10 seconds until rockets are up. And then when they come up, either he will announce it or one of the Spartans, because again, I said how the Spartans just kind of talk now, just randomly shout shit out. They'll be like, oh, sniper's up, sniper's available. And there's a floating indicator, kind of like in Halo 4 when something dropped.
Right.
There's a nav point on the map. There's a nav point for all the weapons too. There's a nav point when weapons are coming up, like before they're even up, like 30 seconds before they're up, there's a nav point. And then when they come up, there's a nav point. It changes color to green to say, oh, now the sniper's here.
Well, this is one of the few times that, in my opinion, I'll step back and say that the programmers can just get the fuck over it. The reason why I say that is I get why they're doing that to speed the game. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so with both sides, everybody in the game or everybody on the map knows that power weapon is coming up. You're going to want to go get those rockets. You're going to want to go get that overshield or whatever, and you're forcing the game flow to move towards that power weapon and speed up the game because both teams are moving towards the weapon, and you're going to be getting into close contact with your opponent right there, fighting over that power weapon, and it's going to increase the speed of the game. It's going to increase the flow of the game, and I kind of like that. It kind of cuts back on that. It kind of cuts back on the camping. That you would get in some of the older stuff that there's not a lot of movement, but knowing the fact that everybody has the same ability to go get that weapon, people are going to be more likely to move towards that weapon. And
Yeah.
then, and now I'm assuming that when somebody picks up the weapon, the indicator drops off the map.
Yep. And then also, again, when somebody picks it up, no matter which team you're on, all the Spartans will announce like either, oh, we have sniper, or they'll say they have sniper. So again, you know who picked it up. You know whether you did or the other team. Even if it was like behind you or to the side, or you were nowhere near it or not even looking at it or paying attention at all, you know who picked it up just because the Spartans yell out who picked it up, and which weapon they picked up.
That just increases the difficulty, and it adds that degree of like, okay, I've run up, I'm the only one around, I'm going to pick up these rockets and I'm going to, head off to a spot and, fuck somebody up. And then all of a sudden you pick it up and they're like, oh, it's announced to everybody that, you have the rockets. And then you're like, well, fuck, there goes my element of surprise. Or, I run up and grab the sword and I'm going to sit just around the corner and wait for somebody to come running, and then you no longer have that advantage, and it adds that degree of difficulty. So I think where it would lose a point in difficulty by giving everybody the heads up as to where the weapons are located, that the point has gone right back up again by knowing now that your opponent has the rockets and you need to get the fuck away. Yeah. And I kind of like it. I might have to play it, but I want to qualify this when I say it that I've been really good at remembering in my head when overshield is going to come up on a drift, or stuff like that. I can keep that running counter in my head, keeping track of like when weapons are supposed to spawn and when power ups are supposed to spawn. So it's not going to make it easier for me by knowing when these things are going to come in, because I already have that ability to keep track of that in my head. So it's not like I'm sitting here going, well, I never keep track of it, I don't have the ability to keep track of it. Boy, it's going to be nice to know when I've got 30 seconds to get to rocket spawn because here comes rockets. I would already have that ability in my head just by playing the maps long enough and understanding there's X amount of seconds between respawns or X amount of minutes. So I kind of like the idea that it's announced to everybody, because it adds that degree of difficulty to the game, and it also adds a degree of easy, knowing that I'm bum rushing the sword, and like, oh, yeah, they have the sword, like, oh, fuck that, I'm gonna go back to my corner.
I like it to a point. I think it's too much how often it's announced, because it's at 30 seconds, it's at 10 seconds, it's when you pick it up. I think it should be turned down just a little bit. It shouldn't be 4 times every time like a weapon's coming up. You shouldn't hear 4 times, hey sniper, hey sniper, hey sniper, hey sniper. I mean, it's a different word every time, right? But it's basically that's what it is.
It's just them forcing the game flow.
Yeah.
But that being said, I will agree. I think that they could walk away and say 30 seconds to sniper, and then sniper's up, and that's it. Or 30 seconds to sniper, and they have when somebody picks it up. Yeah, they have sniper. Like, that'd be fine. That'd be cool.
I think that's I think that's it. Those two.
Yeah. And that's fine, because I mean, there already is an indicator, like you said, that shows up when the weapon when the weapon actually spawns. So you don't need somebody to, you don't need that announcement that says sniper's up. You already see it on your HUD that it's up.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's necessary. Now, like I said, I think cutting it down to 2, 30 seconds to spawn,
And then when they pick it up.
Yeah, when it's retrieved. And I
Because
think
right now it's 30 seconds, and then it's 10 seconds, and then it's when it's up, and then it's when they pick it up. And that's just ridiculous. That's too many times that you're. I know the rockets are over there. Everyone does.
Yeah, and
bad kids.
And I think that's just part of their game testing. I think that they will probably pull that stuff out.
Yeah.
And you won't have to worry about that as much. When they do the final release, I think they'll probably cut it down. I mean, I could even see them going as far as, cutting it down to saying 30 seconds to sniper and that's the end of it. Or not even making any announcement when it comes up and just be, oh, they have the sniper. Like, oh, didn't even know it was up. And that's fine. I don't think I don't think that many announcements will stay in the final release. So that's just my opinion on that. Yeah.
But since we're talking about power weapons and when they're coming up, we'll bring them up again.
Okay.
We're bringing up power weapons in 10 seconds.
All right. Good. 10 seconds. I can grab another beer. Vamp for me.
Okay. We're going to talk about the Hydra and the rocket launcher and the sniper. And I'll bring up the sword and the Prophet's Bane too, since those are kind of power weapons. But I don't have anything bad to say about those, other than I think the Prophet's Bane's a little ridiculous. Because you get increased speed while you're holding the Prophet's Bane. I think that's the only difference between Prophet's Bane and sword. I think Prophet's Bane, while you're holding it, gives you, I don't know what it is, 10-15% increased speed. But it makes it a little ridiculous because you're already holding the sword. You're already running around able to lunge at people. Again, like I was saying, sword you still get lunge. You don't get lunge with regular beatdown. But
so this Prophet thing, this is a new addition for Halo 5. This is an exclusive edition.
Yeah, it's called Prophet's Bane. Like I was saying, it's
pretend that I'm not. Pretend I've never played the game and know nothing about it, and explain to me what it is.
Okay, Prophet's Bane is an energy sword, which gives you increased speed while you're holding it.
Okay.
So it's the perfect weapon for any map that has a lot of areas that are close quarters, because you can easily jump around and surprise somebody, and they don't have to be right on the edge of the corner because you have increased speed and you're able to lunge with it, so it's easy to get slasher kills with it. Just slash, slash, slash around the corners with it. I like it. I don't mind it. I mean, it is a little ridiculous that you get increased speed with it, because the sword, I mean, you can already go on ridiculous sword sprees, but I don't know. It's not that bad. I'll be okay with it. I don't mind it. I don't die that often from it, because as soon as I know somebody has it, I don't walk around corners anymore.
Now, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you use the thruster pack at all? Or is that one of your things?
It's everybody's thing.
Well, some people play it, some people don't.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you use that, or or is that, like, say in Halo 4, for example? We're playing Halo 4. Do you use the thruster pack?
Yes, and I use it a lot in Halo 5.
Okay. Now, in Halo 4, I noticed something, that if you're running towards me with the sword and you lunge and I hit the thruster pack and thrust backwards, that it increases your lunge for your sword. Like you lock on and you're coming with the sword, and you will.
Are you going to finish your lunge?
Yeah, where you finish your lunge, and it extends out further because you're locked onto somebody that's thrusting backwards. Have you run into that in Halo 5 at all?
I've never tried thrusting back away from them. I have tried thrusting to the side, and they were still able to get me. So, I don't know. I haven't played too many matches with the sword on it.
Well, experiment on that one for me, because that was always one of my most really frustrating. Because I ran into the same problems that you did. If you thrust left, thrust right, they're already locked on and they're coming. They're going to get you. But I got in for a while. I was attempting this, like, I see them coming, so I'm going to thrust backwards, and I got pretty good at timing it at the exact same time that they lunge. I thrust backwards, and you see that they're doubling the distance of their lunge because the animation is already locked on for the kill. Like
Yeah.
as soon as they lunge, the program has already decided that you're going to die. It's just it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, you're gonna die.
You're going to die, and so you're thrusting backwards, and you're thrusting about the same distance as a lunge is. And if the person is already at maximum lunge range with the sword, and I lunge, and I thrust backwards, they're basically doubling the distance of their lunge, and you can see it. There's a split second of they're just like floating towards you, past further than where they should be, and it's always like, God damn it! And
You have to try that. I don't think so. I think that's fixed because I've never seen it or heard of it, and I'm pretty sure I've seen people thrust out of the way. I don't know. I'll have to try it, thrusting back away from them. I've never thought of that. To me, that sounds like in the movies where the people try to run away from the car that's coming at them. It's like, just jump to the side. Why are you trying to outrun the car?
Yeah, and because it always made sense to me when I first started trying it, as if their thrust is the distance that from me to them, or their lunge is the difference from me to them, and I thrust backwards. Whenever you lunge with the sword, there's that moment where you bring the sword up and you're kind of locked in that animation for a split second. My theory was that gives me an extra half second to get back on them with my AR and take them down. And it never seemed to be effective, and it just never made sense as to why that never worked. And
I'll try it.
Yeah, try it out. Guinea pig that for me.
Other new ones beside the Prophet's Bane is the new one that we know of, at least, is the Hydra.
Ooh.
Which is a missile launcher that you can lock onto anything. You can lock onto vehicles, you can lock onto Spartans. And I've tried it a couple times. It's not as accurate when you do this, but you can lock onto a Spartan and then aim the Hydra up into the air, and the missile will arc back down around because it's locked on.
Oh,
and
cool.
it'll still hit near them. So if they run around a corner but you were locked on already, you can aim up into the side and kind of arch it around the corner at them. But it's not as accurate as shooting it straight at them, so most likely you won't get the kill, but you will damage them.
So does it work in the same functionality as the missile launcher did from Halo 3?
Kind of.
I mean,
it's just not as accurate. You hardly ever get a kill from just one rocket, like you could in Halo 3.
Okay.
It takes a few. And you can also fire it without locking on. You can just fire it, and again, it takes a couple, 2 or 3, I think.
Now, is this a shoulder fired weapon or like a hip fired weapon?
It's hip fired.
Okay. Do you break out into the third person, or do you stay in?
No.
Okay. Cool.
No, it's a little guy. It's not like the one from Halo 3 that's a big ass missile launcher.
Okay. Well, that would make sense then as to why it takes multiple rockets to put a Spartan down.
Yeah, they're
because
just little rockets.
It's firing a smaller ordnance. That's cool, though.
Or not even rockets, they're missiles. I try not to say rockets because we already have a rocket launcher queue, which looks retarded. The new one in Halo 5 looks like an RPG, except you don't have an RPG sticking out, but it looks like an RPG tube. It's a single tube, and it looks, I don't know.
Is it a single shot? Is it a single shot reload, or you still get 2 or 4 shot out of the tube?
You get one.
Oh, they took that away?
Yeah, you get one. I think when you pick it up, it has 4. Unless I'm thinking wrong. I could be wrong. It could have 2. I've only used it a few times because I don't get to pick it up very often. But I swear it only has 1, and then you reload. Because it's a single tube. I mean, it would be weird if your tube held 2 rockets in it.
Yeah. Well, that kind of sucks because I like that double rocket. I mean, not so much in not so much in multiplayer, but more along the lines of in campaign when dealing, because your rockets were your anti armor. So
Well,
that
and they could always have another rocket launcher that does have two. I mean, there's nothing that says they can't have two different rocket launchers. One that is more common for multiplayer, and then one, that's in campaign.
well, yeah, okay, that's interesting.
They need to redesign the single tube though. It looks retarded. And I'm sorry, 343 or artists or whatever, whoever came up with that design. It's dumb. It looks like an RPG tube.
So it says here next in your show notes that you actually now kind of have to lead your target.
Yeah, the same when you're sniping or when you're using BR or DMR, and maybe it's just me, maybe I suck, but it feels like
That probably has a lot to do with it.
That's probably just it, but it feels like it's hard to get kills, like especially with the sniper. Like I've tried no scoping with it, and I swear, like in Halo 4, I would have got that kill, but I didn't. It feels like even though a bullet goes should be instant, especially coming out of a sniper.
Well, you do have to.
It feels like I have to lead him a little bit.
Now, have you tried using it? Close range and long range.
Yeah.
Does the lead change, or is it about the same?
It feels like about the same. I got to lead them like a couple inches in front of their head. With the sniper, with the BBR and everything, it feels like I got to lead them just a little bit if they're moving.
Well, it would. I mean, that kind of makes sense because there is travel time for a bullet. So,
Yeah.
I kind of that makes it more realistic. It does add a degree of difficulty, but it does add a little bit more realism to it because one of the things that I never really liked, going even into Reach and other games, where I'm all like in Reach when you're playing Blood Gulch or their version of Blood Gulch, and you're cross map and I scope in on you and fire and you instantly die. It's like, hey, there should be a wait time when I'm scoping you from across the map.
Yeah, like half a second or so.
Yeah, whatever that distance is, you're having to,
Yeah.
I don't want to have to play a game where I have to factor in the Coriolis effect when I'm trying to shoot somebody across the map. But
Yeah.
leading somebody with a sniper rifle from across the map, or even the DMR or the BR, and apparently the AR for that matter, there should be a little bit of lead time. That just means you have to become a better marksman. So
yeah, and it's not even harder. It's just a new area I need to be aiming at because I'm always aiming at them, and it feels like I'm missing my shots. Because another thing that makes it harder is there's no magnetism or aim assist at all anymore.
That was
in Halo 4 when you'd like kind of go across them, it'd slow down a little bit, kind of pull back towards their body.
I really think that's what did me in Halo 4 when they did the weapon tuning, because back when they did that big weapon tuning update, about halfway through the release, between when they released and now, about halfway through, they did that weapons update and the weapons tuning, and they really dropped that red magnet reticle. Man, that was fucking hard. It took so long to readjust to that. Like I walked away from the DMR for months because I just couldn't get it anymore, and it was so frustrating because I did not realize I relied on it as much as I did.
Well, you're gonna have to practice for Halo 5 then.
Yeah, and that's I'm totally fine with that because once again it's that uptick a degree of difficulty, and this isn't a noob game. This is for a slightly more experienced first person shooter gamer. So I like that idea. I mean, it sucks that it goes away because you can't rely on it anymore, but it makes you that much better of a player if you can get used to it. If you can't get used to it and you just can't get that concept into your brain, Halo is really going to suck for you. And that I'm totally fine with that. I would rather I want that degree of difficulty because I want to get better as a gamer. So
and one thing I do like, we'll just hit on this real quick because we're kind of on the topic. Well, we'll just hit on the whole thing. Ranking system is fucking broken. It's so dumb. It's not. Okay, tell me how this works, QK. I had a 2.1 KD. If you count assists, I had like an 11.2 KD or something ridiculous.
Okay.
I had like a 51% accuracy. I had...
Oh, it accounts for accuracy?
Yeah, for each weapon
cool.
too. Each weapon keeps track of your accuracy.
That's
But
cool.
my overall accuracy was 51%. Let's see, my win percentage. It doesn't show you percentage, but it shows games played and games won. Let's see,
So if you can,
I played 13 games and I won 10 of them. So what's that, like 85% something?
You're just a right about 80, between 79 and 81%.
Yeah, so 80% we'll say. So I have all that, and I'm a silver. Now the way Halo 5 goes, if I can remember them all, it goes bronze is the lowest, and then silver, gold, onyx, semi-pro, and pro. I think that's all of them. And then each of those have 3 levels within them.
76.9.
Oh, well, okay. I have a 76.9% win then. So I'm a silver 1 with those stats, okay? And I'm playing against somebody that has a 0.9 KD, a 42% accuracy, and something like a 50% win rate, and they're a gold 2. Okay, now tell me how that fucking works, Q. The ranking system's broke, okay? Now, as far as I can tell, I haven't asked anybody at 343, but this is how I figured how the ranking system works right now in the beta. Your first 10 games set your rank. So you have to do amazing in those first 10 games. But again, during those 10 games, it accounts who you're playing against. And not only how well you did, but how well your overall team did. You have to be a team player, and you have to win, but you have to win against good players. You can't just win against novice players. And which kind of sucks, too, that your first 10 games are so heavy towards your rank, because that's when everyone's learning how to play. So your first 10 games are going to be like your worst 10 games. Well, and then once you have a rank, you have to slowly build up from there. And
one of the things that I'll compare this to, and it'll sound a bit extreme with the comparison, but excuse me, I'm a pool player, and the league that I would play in, I haven't played in a while, but the league that I played in was exactly similar to that. Your first 10 games, you weren't even ranked until you completed your first 10 games. Like, they just gave you, say on a rank of 1 through 10, you came out of the gate as a 5, and it took 10 games to be able to tell where your rank was going to be. Like, you fluctuated all over the place until you got those 10 games in. So that kind of makes sense. The fact that this guy that you say that you played was, his stats showed how garbage he was, and all of a sudden this guy's supposed to be a gold tier player. That sounds like that there is a problem with the ranking system, and I wonder how they're going to adjust it. Are they going to adjust your rank for every match that you play, or are they going to look at, because the league that I played in, what they would basically do is you would play your first 10 games, and they would assign you a rank, and then they would look at your next 10 games, and then they would reevaluate your rank, and basically your rank got reevaluated periodically, not on a more constant basis. So maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they keep track of the stats, but they don't adjust your rank, per game. So maybe this guy had a really good set of 10 games. Maybe when he got on release, and him and his buddies, they were the only ones playing together, and he was the best of his buddies, so they gave him a high rank, and now as more people are starting to fill into the matchmaking, it's starting to balance out, and beginning to realize how garbage he is, and they just haven't adjusted his rank yet.
Maybe you do adjust after every game, because there's a screen that comes up in the post game report that shows your stats, and then it also shows your rank, and it'll show whether you went up or down, and it's point system, so you can go up from a silver 1, and it'll tell you, oh, you got 16 points or whatever for that game, you're a silver 2 now.
Okay, so
it's just those first 10 games are so heavily, because you're not going up or down per game. It takes those first 10 games overall, and the majority of what it takes into account is win. your win percentages and who you won against, the rank of players that you won against, and then it says, all right, you're an Onyx. You did really good in those first 10 games, and then you're an Onyx. And then it turns into like how it was ranked in like Halo 3. I think, yeah, Halo 3, you remember how like you were like a 40 or whatever.
Right.
And like you had to win so many games to become a 43. But this, instead, you play your first 10 games and be like, all right, you're really good, you're a 40. And then you work up from there to become a 50. But if like your first 10 games when you're first learning it, and because the control schemes are such crap in the beta, my first 3 games I lost by a lot. I couldn't figure out anything. I kept trying different stuff. So I think my first 3 games I lost, and then I don't think I lost another game after that. But again, I don't know who I won against. So I came out of that as a silver, and now it's taken me so many games, and I'm finally at gold. So it's just annoying at first because your first 10 games, like I said, are heavily weighted to where it puts you. But eventually, yeah, it'll kind of level people out, and it'll get everyone where they're supposed to be. But it's just annoying for the first little while, the first like week when you play, everyone's going to be all over the place. Good players are going to be low, and there's going to be really bad players that are somehow like Onyx, and they should not be up there, stuff like that.
Well, that's just working off law of averages. That it takes, the more games you play, the more games you have to win for it to really matter towards your rank, just because of averages.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
But the reason I brought the ranking system up, I just want to move on from it because I think they're going to completely change it when the new game comes out.
I really wish that they would just, look at it and assign it, a 1 through 100 rank, not based on your wins, because you could.
I wish it took everything into account, not just wins. I wish it took all your stats and your wins, and it would look at, oh, this guy plays solo or this guy plays with a team. If you play with a team, that win should count for less than when I played solo, because I ended up getting paired with randoms that I most likely didn't talk to, as opposed to playing with my friend. Even if 4 bad kids play together, if they're just talking to each other and like, oh, over here, they're going to do better than one amazing player
and 3 randoms.
Yeah.
And I can agree with that, and account for everything, and just assign a 1 through 100 ranking system, and the number one thing I do not want in taking into account into my rank is how many games I've played, or because I want a ranking system that has nothing to do with a grind.
I think you will like the Halo 5 ranking system because it actually doesn't take into account how many games you've played. It takes your first 10, places you in, and then from there it's just you got to win to level up, or if you lose, you're going down. It doesn't matter how many times or how many games you've played. If you lose too much, you could play 1,000 games and you're still going to be a low level. You can't grind into a better rank.
Yeah, and that's the number one thing that I want, because playing Halo 4, when they released the game, they paired up with Mountain Dew. If you did the codes for Mountain Dew, and you would get bonus XP, and then there was a whole armor perk that was just for leveling up. Like I don't want that. I don't want to grind. If I'm playing Halo Reach, and I get put into a map with a match against an Inheritor, I don't know if the Inheritor is good or if it's a 7-year-old that just spends all day long just gaming. Because if you play 5 hours a day every day, every week, you can be a high rank in no time. But someone that's like me, I play on the weekends. Sometimes I play in the evenings after work, but the majority I play on Friday nights and sometimes Saturdays. So I'm going to go in and be paired up against. I'm going to go in and play against an Inheritor, and I'm like, for example, I've played Halo Reach since release, and I think I'm still a fucking Colonel.
Yeah, Halo Reach and Halo 4 are both kind of dumb that way, where no matter what, you're leveling up every single game.
Yeah.
It's just how much did you level up, but no matter what, you leveled up.
Like, oh, I hit the jackpot. I'm going to get a bunch of extra credits. For what? Like, really? Now, if they want to do a grind, let that be something separate, because I did kind of like the whole, you can buy new armor as you grind through and earn credits. like that's kind of cool. Like I don't have a problem with that, but that's the only thing I want the grind to be. Like I'll grind through it to get new armor because I like the armor stuff, but I don't want it to have any effect on the way I play. You know, it doesn't affect me in the middle of the game. It's just what my character looks like, and I'm totally
Yeah.
okay with that.
Yeah, me too.
But I don't want any form of a grind for any type of perk.
Yeah.
So
I think it's going to work. And the main reason I brought it up is another reason I think you're going to like it, the ranking system. As far as I understand it, it's going to keep classes, or I don't want to say classes, that sounds bad. It's going to keep ranks separate. So you're never going to get, you might, if you're paired up with certain people, your friends or something that are high level. But if like you were bronze, I'm not saying you're bad, but I'm just saying, for instance,
tell me how you really feel.
If you're like a bronze, you're never going to get paired up with a pro. It's just not going to happen in normal matchmaking. I think it's going to try and keep like the bronze and silvers and low golds in like a category, and then like onyxes and like semi-pros in another, and then like pros and really high semi-pros, the people that win a lot. I think it's going to try and match them up. So like it might slow down matchmaking again a little bit, which is another reason we need more population. But I think it's going to try and keep them separate. So you know, kind of like how they did in Halo 3 too, kind of like your rank. It's almost going back to that rank, but it's a little different. That ranking system, I mean, but it's a little different. But it's going to kind of keep us separate. It's going to keep the level 40s with the level 40s and the level 10s and 15s with their people. It sounds really bad. I say like their people, like
no,
the commoners.
But it totally makes sense because, you know, if you're a new player, the last thing that you want to do is go into matchmaking and play against somebody that's been playing for, you know, days or weeks or months or whatever the case is, and you're brand new and you go into matchmaking, and then all of a sudden you're paired up against this god, and you know you're still like, what's this button do? And you're dead. And then you respawn and be like, oh look, I can crouch. You're dead. You know, like that's not cool. And then
I'm hoping that's how I understand it works, but I don't know.
I'm really happy with that because even on the inverse, you know, if I'm that level of player, you know, that high level of player, the last thing that I would want to do is go into a lobby full of you know, brand new players and just slaughter them. Where's the fun in that? You know, some people really get a joy out of that.
The fun
like,
is teabagging them, Q.
Yeah, you know, and some people are really like that, you know. And I only teabag the 8-year-olds, but you know, and I mean that in the game. I don't mean that in anything else. FBI, NSA.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go into a lobby where it's full of people that are brand new and then slaughter them because it's like, yeah, I won, but there was no challenge to it, you know, and I like that kind of challenge. And I might be the only person out there that feels this way, but you know, every once in a while, yeah, it's kind of cool to get paired up with a bunch of low-ranked players and just eat them for breakfast. But for the most part, I want to play people that are at my skill level or just a little bit above my skill level. So it becomes a challenge. It becomes, you know, if I go into a lobby and I go 25-2 against a bunch of nothings, and whereas I'll go 10-10 and win against a really good player, that really good player win is going to be so much more satisfying than going in and just going, you know, 20-2 and just laughing at people.
Yeah.
You know,
you'll even be satisfied if you got close to winning against a really good player.
Oh, absolutely. You know, if it was a really tight game and and our team loses by 1 point, and like, shit, that was a good game, but you know, I still had fun because, you know, I'm on the edge of my chair, I'm jamming buttons and I'm cussing and I'm like, oh motherfucker, you know, that's the type of gaming that, you know, that I really enjoy. Whereas I can just sit back, put my feet up, and just rape everybody. Like, that's no fun.
Yeah. Moving on though. Something that I thought about that that I haven't heard anyone talk about is clans. Now, I called the thing, the little tag or whatever, what do you call that? The tag. They have it in Halo 4, I think. You know, your little tag, you get like 3 or 4 characters.
It's kind of like I mean, I've always that's like your call out tag.
Yeah.
You know, instead of
whatever that fucking thing is.
Instead of like Monkey Washer XX237, you know, yeah, he's on your left. I can say monkey left. You know.
Yeah. I wish, but when I thought about it, when I made this list, I was like, man, I wish that they didn't limit that to only 4 characters. But then I changed my mind. I like it at 4 characters. I don't want it to be Call of Duty where people have, I'm a fucking faggot.com and that's their clan or whatever. And it lets them put that whole thing. Like,
I don't
you
like
said,
that
it's
either.
a call out tag. I don't want my fucking screen clouded up with a bunch of shit. I just want to have it say Oreo and yours says Q and that's it.
Right. And that's all it needs to say. And it's just abbreviated. It's just your abbreviated gamer tag so you can be recognized on the battlefield.
I mean, I feel bad for Rabowski because it's really hard to shorten Ginger into 4 letters, but
yeah.
I mean, he can put G-I-N-G, Ginge, or G-N-G-R. He can put that, Ginger. That works. There you go, Rabowski. Got it for you, G-N-G-R.
Yeah, well, I was kind of hoping something like Firecrotch, but, so be it.
That's too long.
I know.
But one thing besides that, what I was calling a clan tag for some reason, but they need if they really are serious and they want to bring Halo back, they have to bring back clans. They have to. From back in Halo 2 days, where you had a clan, a whole separate list of people from your clan that you could only access through Halo. You go to Halo, you go, my clan, and you see who's online, and you see who the overlords and who, like, your clan leaders and shit. They have to bring that back. If they are serious about bringing Halo back.
As long as they don't call it clan.
Well, what would you like them to call it?
Squad.
Squad? Yeah, there you go. That's a better word for it.
Or,
you don't want to be in the Ku Klux system. Okay.
No. I don't want it to be associated with Call of Duty because you start calling a clan system, that people are going to be like, oh, Call of Duty? Like, no, motherfucker. That was done in Halo 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's been so long gone out of the Halo world that, a lot of people don't even realize that. So
you couldn't call it Squad either, though, because Battlefield did Squad first.
Let's call it Platoon. Let's call it Unit, Group.
Unit. I don't know. What would you call a unit? What would you call a gaggle of Spartans?
My gaggle. Done. I like it. There's your $1 million idea.
There you go. Gaggle system.
The gaggle system. But I mean, call it, Platoon. Because you're gonna have more than, most of your clans are gonna have more than 8 or 10 people in it. So you could call it a platoon, or there's another unit breakdown between platoon and squad, and it just escapes me what it's called. But something other than that. It doesn't have to be clan.
But they have to bring that back. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
They got to bring back playlists that are for clan matches or platoon matches, whatever you're gonna call it. Where you can just go in and it's you and your people versus this guy and his people.
I'm totally
encourage people to play together and give clan rankings and stuff.
That would be really cool.
Like how GTA does it. You know what I'm saying?
Still waiting on Heist, but at least they have the.
Hey, Heists are coming next month. They've already said for sure. They're not kidding around this time.
No, I'll believe it when it happens.
Let's see.
But that's neither here nor there.
I went to thesaurus.com, typed in clan. Here you go. You got tribe, faction, mob, gang, crowd.
Faction would be kind of cool, but that's kind of crew settings. I mean, now you're getting into GTA does crew, but even that's fine. You can even call it a squad and
club?
No, I don't like
outfit.
That's it. That's the winning right there. Outfit. There's your $1 million idea. You call it that. You call it your outfit, and that's cool. I like that.
What outfit are you in?
Yeah, I'm in the Pig's Pot outfit, the only.
Yeah.
So we can do we can challenge Drunken Halo outfit and just turn their assholes inside out. Yeah. But that would be cool though. I think outfit. I think that's the, I think that's the winning name right there.
Yeah. Whatever the fuck
clan.
they call it. If they don't put it in, I'm flying to Are they in Washington? Where's 343 Studios at?
I was thinking either Washington or I wanted to say upstate California.
Well, wherever they are, I'm
California.
fucking flying there, and I'm starting Occupy outfit.
I'm down for it. But yeah, I think that's the
If
solution.
they don't put that in, they're not serious. They don't actually want Halo to get big again.
But that would be
Because
really cool.
that'll turn everything around. That'll bring so many people back. I mean, what was better than fucking, like you said, like Pig's Pod outfit versus Drunken Halo outfit?
Yeah.
Fuck the Drunken Halo outfit, right?
Yeah, fuck those guys. But
That's what it was all about back in the day. And
but
like
that would be so much fun.
Representing your outfit all over the place.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Like
It means so much more. Every game means so much more when you're representing your outfit and like when you're running with your outfit.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
Well, they better do it. There's your $1 million idea for 343. Make outfits. It sounds like we're telling them to get into fashion.
Well, you know, that too. As a matter of fact, I was actually looking at some ODST cosplay today. It's almost within my budget to buy a set of ODST armor.
All right, when I told you to get into outfits, Q.
Hey, don't judge. I would love to be able to do...
that would be cool, though, an ODST one.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the Master Chief ones, and they look great. But I've always liked the ODST stuff, so... I might have to invest and build me a set of ODST armor.
That would be cool. Well, I don't have money. Don't be talking about that shit.
I don't have the money either, but it doesn't mean I can't hope and dream and wish.
All right, well, let's hit on those last couple things that I know that they've already announced, like Frankie, Bravo, or a couple of others over at 343 have already announced these are getting fixed, and then we'll go into pros. All we've been talking about basically is going down my con list, and even out of that, we came up with some good things, some good ideas. But here's some things that you might not like that they've already said are fixed. What we mentioned before, having to go to the dashboard or having to go to the party thing and go to leave multiplayer to leave when you're stuck in a search. Because for some reason you get stuck in search all the time and you can't just back out to the menu. That's fixed. They've already said they've made ranking system tweaks, which we've kind of given ideas what we think about the ranking system. Like Q said, he's the numbers guy here at PixPod. He also runs numbers for Drunken Halo. They got to steal my guy.
Yeah, well, basically I'd be called a deserter.
Works. Yeah, well, I guess. The ranking system works. It levels out after a couple months. So it sucks at first, and I was pissed at it. But it does kind of level out. It'll eventually you'll get to your rank, and Mr. 0.7 KD, he'll get to his rank that he deserves. Let's see, footsteps. Your footsteps. If you play with headphones. If you don't play with headphones, you won't notice. But your footsteps are so fucking loud for some reason. Like, I understand you're in a Spartan suit, but also you're in a Spartan suit. I understand it makes loud steps, but also you're fucking in it. You have a helmet on. You shouldn't be able to hear your fucking steps. Maybe I'm the only one annoyed by this, but it seems like my footsteps when walking around are so fucking loud, and it makes it to where, like, if I'm moving, I can't hear other people's footsteps walking up on me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. That's a little audio thing. Other than that audio, I like the audio design of the entire game, but we'll get to that. The BR sight, the little horns, what it looks like when you look down that, and they've changed that. They've already said it's already changed. They already came up with a new design. It's already in the new game. So don't worry. If you don't like that, it's already changed. The overall UI is going to be similar, but it's different. I don't know how. Maybe we'll see when that second beta comes up. Wink, wink, wink. And then one last thing that I think they said they're changing, but I'm not sure. The design of the scope for the sniper and the DMR. Because when you look down them, it's absolute crap. Because they tried to do this thing where, you remember in like pretty much every other Halo, when you scope in, that the scope becomes your entire screen. You no longer see your radar. You no longer see anything. All you see is like a little black outline around the edges maybe, and then your reticle there in the middle. Well, DMR and Sniper in Halo 5 are more like in real life. If you were looking down a scope, you see stuff around the scope, and then that scope is like in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, I think that's probably their solution to, when in Halo 4, unless you had that perk activated, you'd lose your sensors and whatnot. So I think that's kind of like their,
but it's annoying.
Their balance to that.
I don't mind it if they design it to where it works, but the DMR, so much of your screen is wasted. It's super annoying. There's no point to aiming with the DMR. It makes it useless. The same with the sniper. I'd almost rather try and no-scope people than the design of the sniper scope I don't like. But other than that, let's get to stuff we like. In my notes, you can even see I wrote excellent fucking map design. I fucking love every map I played in the beta. My least favorite is Truth, which is the remade midship, and the only reason is because they made it fucking huge compared to the old midship, and there's a jump from bottom mid to top mid, which I'm still kind of iffy on because that's never been in midship. But other than that, all the new jumps you can do, like, you remember in midship, if you were like bottom blue and you wanted to get top blue, you had to go through the lift. Well, now there's a jump on blue and on red from bottom blue to where you can jump up to blue or top red instead of using the lift.
Do you have to clamber to do that, or you just make the jump?
You have to clamber to do it.
Okay. Well, I'm not too heartbroken on that because just with the new mobility of the Spartan, I kind of like that.
It's like kitty corner to where the lift is. So there's the one side where the lift comes up, and then the other side is where you could be jumping up. So the people up top red kind of got to watch both of those, and they got to watch top mid and both sides.
That's kind of cool. I mean, we're back to that degree of difficulty.
Yeah, there's a whole new. There's another one, Regret, which is pretty much a redesign of midship, in my opinion, except outside, but it's exactly like midship. It's got like a P2. I even like all the callouts, top blue, top red, and it's the same thing from bottom red to top red. You can either go up the lift or jump up from the other side. It's pretty much midship. It's just outside. But even then, I still like it because it's smaller than the other one. The new midship just feels really big. Like I said, that's my least favorite. Other than that, though, Eden and Empire, they're the same map. They just have some Forge stuff moved. Pegasus is a Forge map that they just made in Forge. It's fucking awesome. I'm really excited for the new Forge. I think they may have finally done it. They did a really good job in Halo 4, where like it would calculate like the lighting, and it wouldn't be like the old Forges where you could tell a fucking map was forged. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The new Forge maps, the new way Forge looks. Like Orion, which is a new one they just released in the beta today that you can finally play. Might be my favorite map of all the maps in the beta, but it's made in Forge, but it feels so like seamless, and they even use like rocks and scenery and stuff, but like it feels so seamless the way like they used it. Like you can't tell it's forged. It's awesome. I'm excited to use Forge, but like I said again, I don't know if they have certain affinity designing maps or people at 343. I don't know who's doing it, but they're doing a great fucking job. I'm loving all the new maps. It wasn't like when Halo 4, where there was like a couple maps I liked and they were mostly crap. So far, I've liked every single map. You wouldn't know because you haven't played, because you didn't go get an Xbox One. I told you to fucking rob a bank and get some money.
Yeah.
You'll see when you get there.
Yeah.
Or you can go watch some fucking videos.
Yeah, I need to get around to doing that.
The Pigspod Facebook. I've put up plenty of videos on there.
Yeah.
On pigspod.com.
As I said it back before we started recording the show, I spent the afternoon playing ODST because we were talking about it on the Drunken Halo podcast when we did our Drunken Halo book club episode.
Yeah, you should go listen to that. Drunken Halo. The last one, it had me and Q. It had Q for most of it and me for a little bit because they didn't invite me.
Yeah, but that was a thing.
That was Justin. You blame Justin.
But I went back and I spent the day playing ODST. So I was like, I hadn't played ODST in years. It was so great to go back and play that game.
Yeah, we'll have to do an ODST episode when Microsoft gives us a remade ODST on Master Chief Collection.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh, you won't get it. Like you will, but you have to pay for it. You don't get it for free.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Whatever. Anyways, moving on.
I don't
want to make this episode too long. We're pushing an hour and a half.
Yeah, let's see. I'm at 1 hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah. So medals, oh my god, I love the new medal system in Halo 5. It's awesome. You get like let's say you got a perfect 4 shot with like the DMR or the BR, it says perfect. It gives you a perfect medal. It's got so many new medals. When I was playing with Drunken Halo the other day and Real Mystery and Rabowski, but Travis got a cluster luck, which is when you grenade and there's like, I think it's 2 or more people. I think it might be 3 or more actually. 3 or more people and you kill them all with 1 grenade. It's called a cluster luck. You get a cluster luck medal.
I like it.
I got a Hell Rocket the other day. A Rocket Mary. That's what it's called. You remember Hail Mary from like Halo 4 when you threw a grenade a really long ways? Well, now when you get a rocket kill from a really long ways away, it's a Rocket Mary.
The Hail Mary was probably the most satisfying medal in Halo 4. Because I love the announcer, Hail Mary.
Wait till you get a Rocket Mary. I got one of them, I think, today. I got a Rocket Mary. But, there's so many new medals, and I'm finding new ones all the time. Like, they have a medal for, like, everything now. And, like, I don't know. It's kind of annoying for, like, some of the easy ones. But, like, the cool ones, like the long rocket shot, they should have had a medal for that a long time ago.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's like the Hail Mary, like the satisfaction when you get that is like the same thing, especially like when you get like a perfect, when you killed somebody perfect, like when you 3-shot somebody with the light rifle, perfect. Yeah, you're just like, oh yeah, bitch, sit down.
Respawn, bitch.
I'm trying to think of any other funny medals. There's some good ones. I'll try and find a list and put it up on the Facebook or the website or something. But moving on, the graphics and the 60 frames per second, which is really weird at first. And I think that's why a lot of people, their very first initial reaction is, I don't know what's wrong. It just feels weird. It doesn't feel like Halo. It just feels weird. I think that's where they're coming from. I think it's the 60 frames per second. It's really weird to your brain. Your brain thinks something's wrong. It doesn't like it at first until you get used to it, and then it's amazing. It's smooth. The fucking graphics in Halo 5 are amazing, especially on Orion. This is one of the reasons I really like Orion. There's a sunset in the background that you think it would be annoying, but it's one of my favorite things on that map. When somebody is shooting at you from the sunset and that sun's behind them, like the way they turn into a shadow is so, I don't know, it's just so sexy. It looks so good. It's nice.
Huh.
I like it. Some other stuff. There's no annoying music while you're waiting and searching. The fucking, they don't keep singing, you know?
I kind of like the Halo 3. Yeah, I love that.
I get tired of it after a minute.
Right.
Other than that, the music overall is nice. The sound design overall is nice. At first, you're not going to like it because it sounds different. But remember, like we've said fucking countless times here on Pig's Pod, every game, every Halo has been different. Every one of them sounded different. I like them. It sounds nice. Other than footsteps are way too fucking loud. Other than that sound, I like every sound in the game. The weapons are well balanced. Fucking, other than the AR shoots a little too far, it's balanced. It makes sense. When you're up close, the AR wins. When you're a little further back, it's perfectly equal between an AR and a BR. You can kill each other, you know, if you both had like perfect shots and you were at the right range. SMG again is a little too powerful up close. But again, it's a close range weapon, so it makes sense. You know, we won't hate on them for that. But like other than that, like the fucking weapons make sense. Like DMR, light rifle, BR, all 3 of those you can literally kill in the exact same amount of time within like a half second, within like a fourth of a second. If you like any combination of those 3, if you don't miss any shots, you'll like kill each other, kinda.
I like that. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, so you pick the one that you want for your range. You're close and mid range. You might want to go AR or BR.
That's what I run. I usually run AR carbine.
Yeah, and I wish they let us try carbine. I wanted to see how well that stacked up to it. Longer range people, you want to go light rifle. The reason I say light rifle over DMR is because the light rifle is sexy as fuck when you scope in, and it has like it like flares out because it's one of them Forerunner weapons, and it flares out and there's shit floating on your screen, and like just like the reticle design's sexy, and it's a 3-shot kill when you're zoomed in, so you just go pew pew pew, done,
Pew
son.
pew pew pew.
But it's nice, cute. You have to play it. We'll have to see when the full game comes out, or the second beta. Wink, wink. 343. It's balanced well so far. I think they're doing a good job. I don't know why I wrote that twice.
That's sad.
Other than that, I don't know. What do you think, Q? What do you think looking out or looking in from the out?
Well, I think it's going to be a good change. I think that, people are just going to have to suffer the fact that a Halo has to evolve to keep up with, just the changing technology from a gaming perspective. I think that if people were still playing a game if they were still trying to make a game that was just a, copy paste from Halo 2, Halo 3, I don't think people would like it, and I think people would bitch, even more than they bitch now. I think they need to get over it.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing that that Halo fans have to understand is Halo has to evolve, otherwise we're just Call of Duty, and that has to change. We have to move forward. We have to progress the gaming technology. We have to progress the gameplay. I mean, we have to progress the storyline. We have to push the storyline in a different direction because Master Chief isn't going to live forever. We're going to have new characters. We're going to have new plot lines that have to be explored. And because of the storyline, because this game is still story driven, because of the storyline and the plot line, it's an evolving plot line, so the technology and the weapons that you're going to be using from Halo 3 to Halo 5, they're going to be different, they're going to be better, because the Spartans and the UNSC as a whole, and the humanity as a whole, has to adjust to deal with the Covenant and any of the other new creatures that they have to deal with, like the Prometheans or whatever. So, I think that I'm really looking forward to it. It really sucks that I haven't been able to play the beta. I'm really bummed about that, but, I really want to help, try to keep people interested and keep people motivated, because we have to advance the storyline, because the story itself is really good. And, the multiplayer is propped up by the plot and by the, and by the evolving storyline. So I'm looking forward to it. So
sweet. Well, maybe you'll get to play that second beta.
Second beta?
I'm hoping we're not just saying second beta all the time, and that 343 is just listening like, what are they fucking talking about?
They're
doing
going
a second beta.
they're going to do a second beta, and let me tell you why.
Okay,
they're going to do a second beta for two purposes. Purpose number one is they still have, it's apparent, they still have a metric fuck ton of kinks and glitches and bugs that they have to work out. And that's fine. You're playing a beta 10 months before release. That's going to be the thing. You're going to have to deal with that. We're going to get a beta sometime between May and July. There's going to be a second beta, and that's to test out those kinks and make sure they get everything lined up, because this, what you see in the final beta is basically what you're going to see in the game. So they want to make sure all that's working right. And reason number two, it's a marketing ploy. You don't do a beta 10 months before a release just so you can work out the kinks. You're going to do a 10-month beta to get people interested, to get people playing the game, get people excited. They're kind of lacking in the excitement category, simply because people were going in with too much expectation.
Yeah.
Basically people came off the Destiny beta, which that was just, limited access to the map and weapons and whatnot, and even the Titanfall, it was just taking the game, and we're just going to limit what you do in it to make sure we've got just the last couple of kinks worked out. That's not what this beta is about. This beta is testing everything from gameplay to game flow, game mechanics, they're taking the time 10 months out to realize the SMG should not be that powerful. They're taking the time 10 months out to fix the fact that the AR is deadly across the map. They're going to fix those things, and these things will not be in the second beta. You're going to see a more complete game in the second beta, and basically that's going to be a marketing ploy to get people playing the game again. 5-6 months away, to keep it fresh in people's mind, to keep people talking about it. Because even I'm sure us here at PigsPod, we're still probably going to talk about the Halo 5 beta into February and March. And among all the other things that we're going to do on the show, and that's what they want, because sometime around March, Halo is kind of going to slow down and it's going to fall out of people's minds for a little bit. And then all of a sudden, 2 months later in May, maybe even in April, they're going to say, yeah, we're going to do a second beta in May or June, and people are going to be talking about it again. People are going to be discussing it. What are we going to see in the beta? Do you think they fix this? Do you think they fix that? And it's going to get people talking about it. It's going to get people excited again, and people are going to want to play Halo again. And it's just a marketing ploy. All these betas, there's nothing that they can't do on their own stuff with their own game testers that they're doing in this system. And this is more for them to keep the name out there and keep people interested than it is to test the game.
Yeah. So you say July. I'm going to say September. Because I think what they're going to do is come out with another beta and, like you said, use it as a marketing thing. They're going to be like, hey, you want to play this beta? You get access to it by pre-ordering Halo 5, coming out November 17th.
Yeah.
That's a guesstimate, 17th. I don't know what the date is. But that's what I'm guessing, like 2 months, maybe 3 months before the game comes out. It's gonna be, like you said, completely polished, but they're gonna get people to go pre-order Halo 5, and they're gonna give you an amazing beta experience. And it's not gonna be like this one where they slowly roll stuff out. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be like a week long, and they're gonna give you access to all the stuff they have in the beta, like a bunch of stuff. A bunch of new stuff, new weapons. They want to see how people take to the new weapons and things. But mostly, I bet it's going to be a stress test, not a new features test, which is basically what this beta was for.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm calling September. You say July, I say September. We might both be wrong. They might not even do another beta. They might let us stay cold for 10 months.
Nah, they're going to do another beta.
Other than that, fuck, we're almost at 2 hours, so we better end this one.
Yeah, I think so. I think this has been a good episode.
I mean, pros and cons, there you go. Whatever you thought, let us know on the Facebook page. And go to Drunken Halo's Facebook page, too, and tell Justin that he's rude and he's unthoughtful.
and before you completely ostracize us from Drunken Halo, give them a big shout out because they're recording episode 100 this week.
Yeah, go check them out. Episode 100. We're ways off from that. So
what episode is this?
Technically, the number you mean?
Yeah. What?
14.
14? That's not bad.
Yeah, we're a ways away from 100, but we're working our way up.
That's not bad. I think we'll have to do some type of special episode for episode 20.
Yeah, maybe we'll get Drunken Halo on here. We haven't had hardly anybody. We've had Real Mystery on here. That's about it. I think our only guest.
Yeah, we need to start getting some guests on because I've talked to a couple of people that want to come on the show and talk about some stuff on PigsPod. So I think maybe in a couple episodes, now that we're getting our audio shit figured out, we can start branching out and bringing in some guests because that's what we need. We need more politically incorrect gamers.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, if they do a second beta, I'll get Quinn Del Hoyo on here.
Oh, hell yeah.
I kind of was talking to him, but he's too busy right now. I wish I could have got him on this one. That would have been fucking amazing. But I'll tell you what, if they do a second beta around that time, I will get Quinn Del Hoyo on here. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll go down there, and I'll go down on Quinn to get him to come down on PigsPod.
Be sure you cup the balls and relax the jaw.
Okay, I'll practice. But no, that's what I'll say. If we're right, we do a second beta, I'll get him on here. We'll have to think about some other high-profile guests, some amazing people, but lots of things planned for 2015. Don't forget, like we said, go like Drunken Halo on Facebook. Go like us on Facebook. I'm not sure what Drunken Halos is. You're going to have to just look up Drunken Halo and you'll find it. Ours is facebook.com/pigspod. Or you can go to the new website, pigspod.com, and I'm putting lots of new stuff up on there. New articles and videos, and you can listen to the podcasts on there, and you can see all the notes and like images that I photoshopped together that are ridiculous. Bunch of stuff. And Q isn't on Twitter, but you can hit me up on Twitter. Oreo. UHHOHOREO.
I'm on Twitter. I just don't use it that much.
He's not on Twitter. Don't listen to him.
I am at QStickSimpson.
He's on
Fuck
Facebook.
You. And I am on Facebook. I am on Facebook. But yeah. And you also,
we'll catch you next week. I have no idea what we're doing next week. Maybe Q has some ideas.
Yeah, I got some things I'd like to do.
All right, maybe we'll get a guest on for next week.
Sweetness.
Other than that, have a fun weekend playing Halo 5. This is your last couple days to play it. So get them in and think about what we said while you're playing it. I guarantee if you don't like it right now, we might have turned you around. I hope. And I still haven't watched the Stephen Hawking documentary. I feel bad.
Yeah, I haven't either. I think I've got it downloaded. I just haven't watched it yet.
Is it out?
Does that matter?
Yeah. Clear your history.
Clear your history.
All of you. Not just Q. Q especially, though.
Yeah, I need to. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm bringing up my phone right now. I'm going to clear it right now. I'm going to go to my...
they count me as an associate, a partner in crime with you. So clear your history. Yeah. And then all of you listening, clear your history too. And
I have 230 megabytes of internet history, 329, and cleaned. I have cleaned my history right here on Pigspod for you because that's how much I love you.
Clear it. Everyone clear it. Clear your history. Goodbye, Q.
Bye, Oreo.
One, two, 3. Picked her up for the first date. Don't wanna jinx it, but so far it's going really great. Get to the movie, romantic comedy. My stomach rumbles and my dinner starts to haunt me. There is no hiding this fart is coming out. The best thing I can do is see if I can squeak it out. Wait for the loud part, lift up my leg and start. Ease it out and hope that this is just a silent dart. Now this is where I all went wrong. 'Cause when I started pushing, instead of a simple gaseous dance, I shit my pants. I don't know why I even took that chance. I shit my pants. I don't know why I ever took that chance. Now they smell the air and start to look at me. So I do the same and blame the guy beside me. The movie's ending now. Oh, what a circumstance. For the love of God, why did I wear these white pants? And as I stand up, she looks down. And I know that it's over. 'Cause where it should be white, it's brown. And I shit my pants. I don't know why I even took that chance. I shit my pants.